Hello guys, my name is Diego Pacheco and this is another Java video. So today we will see some capabilities and integration of Spring Boot and mocking, and how we can do some sort of testing with mocks and Mockito, how we can inject mocks, and how we can deal with dependencies in tests. So let's get started. So I have a POC I did here. Let me open my idea and show you guys. So I have a very standard Spring Boot application. As you can see here in my POM, I'm using 241 and I'm using starter web. I need to add starter test in order, because we're going to do the test things, and that's it. For my application, I have application class, which has the standard annotation, the Spring Boot application, enable configuration, component scan, and I have a controller here, REST controller, and but actually will not be testing the controllers. There will be a video for that later on. Here we're gonna deal more with the services and beans. So I have an interface which I call it date service, and you need to provide the current date as a string. And then I have like two implementations. I have the simple date service, where I just return Java util date to a string, and this is annotated as service. And I have a second implementation, which I implement date service. You can see I don't have a at service here, this one, as you can see, I receive actually a date service, right? So sort of a wrapper passage, and then I'm adding like 3 stars before I'm calling the date service, right? And then I have equals hash code and to string here, okay, and getters and setters for the date service. So how can we test this, and how we can play with the test? So I have a test here, and this is important because here there's two important things in sense of annotations for this to work, right? First of all, you might see that I'm extending with and not using the JUnit extension, but the Mockito extension, right? And that's important because we're gonna inject some mocks. And then I'm also doing the Spring Boot test, and I'm saying, for this application, I want a different Spring context, and this Spring context will be provided by an inner class, which is on this class itself, the mock tests, and the inner class is called config beans, and you can see here. So there is some beans I'm defining here, and this definition you're gonna be injected on my own test itself, right? So let's go for the definition first, right? So in my config beans, I'm saying this is a configuration, and I'm defining 2 date services, right? In order to avoid Spring to freak out, I need to qualify, right? And I'm saying, okay, this is DS1 and this is DS2, and there's a difference. For DS2, this is mock, right? And mock is from Mockito, and this DS1 is mock bean, and mock bean is from Spring, right? And we're gonna see this in action very soon and see what's the difference. So here I'm injecting both dependencies I have for my test to be mocked, my date service and my extended date service. And for my date service, I want to be auto-wire, but I want to be classified as DS1. So I'm gonna be getting this bean, right? And for the extended date service, I want to auto-wire, but instead of auto-wire, as you can see here, I'm asking for inject mocks, right? And I'm qualifying this as DS2, all right? So Spring gonna be injecting a mock for me. If I was not using inject mock, I would not need the Mockito extensions, but because I'm using inject mock, I need that extension, right? And then for my test, I'm just checking that both are not null and printing them, and then we can see the difference, right? So DS and DS2. DS is mock bean, DS2 it is a mock, right? So you can see here the application is booting up, right? And the first thing that's printed is DS, and DS is auto wire and qualified as DS1 as a mock bean. And we can see here that we have a date service, right? Here, and remember, date service, it is the interface, it's not an implementation, right? And I got something here, right? And the other one, which is date service 2, which we can see here with the second assert and the second print here, it is inject mock, right? And here is the extended date service DS2, and we can see here that we got an extended date service, and we also have an injection here happening of a date service 0, right? So I don't know if you pay enough attention, but what happens is the extended and this is quite useful, guys, the extended date service, this class, right, it requires a date service, and here you know, so you have a component, that component has an order dependence, and here what happens is, well, for this one here I just need a mock, right? That's why mock being you know, just works for us, because I'm saying, okay, Spring, mock this for me, right? Just give me a mock, all right? And that's why I can say just auto wire, because this is a mock being, so give that guy to me, all right? But this one, the inject mocks, the difference it is, okay, give me this guy, but also this guy has dependencies, all right? So mock the dependencies for me, right? And that's what happens, right? And we can get that guy there. So this makes test much easier and really much easier to mock it, right? You just need to have the right configuration in place, and then mocking can be much more declarative, and that's the cool thing about it. So that's it. I hope you guys like it. See you next time. Take care. Cheers.